All right. So congrats, Ivan, Daniel, and Anthony. You have had the social ability, the strategic skills, the luckiest of luck, and of course the winning moves to make it to the final three of today's game. I hope you are all very proud of the game that you have played. You will now have each jury member ask one and only one question to any of you three. They must pick one person to ask a question to. Then, each of you will have no more than 3 minutes to make your case as to why you should win. Then we will have the jury vote for a winner. That person will be today's champion. They will win 50 Canadian dollars. Woo! And the admiration of everyone in the game. The order of who will make their case will be randomly determined. Jury members, one at a time, you have your chance to ask one question to one finalist to help determine who you will vote for in the end. We are going to start with Tina.
Hey guys, congrats. My question is for Ivan. I'd like to know what you think you did that set you apart in the game beyond just being a floater and being in the right room at the right time.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Well, I wasn't the floater. I was actively playing. And one thing I did very differently was the round. Sorry, give me a second. So the round that we had a 2-2-2-2 tie between Kim, Mike, and I can't remember the last person. I think at that point in time, I already created a very strong relationship with Daniel. And at that point, people I was working with wanted Daniel gone. And I needed to keep that to myself that I had Daniel. So they couldn't vote Daniel out of the game. I think that was one strong move I did. I feel like I was also able to talk my way out of elimination. Teddy, sorry, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name properly. Tweedy was, I keep saying Teddy. Tweedy, sorry. Tweedy was going to vote me out that round, but I was able to talk myself out. I was able to talk my way out of that. Daniel was also considering eliminating me the final round. I was also able to talk my way out of that. I knew the dynamics. I knew the people that wanted Daniel gone, and keeping that to myself and lying about the third person I had kept Daniel in the game that round. Otherwise, all three people would have voted for Daniel that round if they knew I had Daniel. And that was a very strong part of my game.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Tina. Chase.
Hi. Um, Questions for Anthony. Anthony, if you were on the jury, who would you vote for out of Daniel and Ivan and why?
Great question. To be honest, I would vote for Ivan simply because I think I was more privy to Ivan's game. Daniel and I had a moment maybe like in round three or like stage three that we were like, I haven't seen you like in an eternity. Like we just like are playing opposite sides of the game, but we're kind of just like doing our things and checking in with each other, I guess, every so often. Whereas Ivan, I feel like was part of my core four, which was me, Ivan, Kim, and Melissa, with me working kind of one-on-one with Tweety on the side of that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Chase. Melissa.
Can you guys hear me? I cannot go on video. I don't know why, but
Oh, go ahead, though. Oh, there you
there
go.
we go. I'm back. Hi. Congratulations, everybody. I love everybody here. You guys are part of my alliance. Daniel, you're very dear to me. Anthony and Ivan, I made it as far as I did because of you guys. So I am grateful and I could not have picked a better top three. All that to say, my mind is open. My vote could go any way. So I want to know for my question is going to be for Daniel. Tell me how your game was better than Anthony's and Ivan's. And the reason I asked that is because I was working more closely with Anthony and Ivan, so I'm kind of aware of their game, but I want to give you a chance to tell me what you did and why you deserve to win.
Yes, thank you. Well, I think my game is better than the two of them because I came in here. Look who's on the Zoom call. I'm the only green person here, and there's all purple and orange. I think I started off with the disadvantage where Chris not being in the game, so it was 5-5-4. And then Adam got voted out, so he became 5-5-3. And then my other players ended up going before the jury. I also had the disadvantage that I came into this game knowing Victoria, Adam, and Anthony G, and they all got sent home early. And so after that, I had to sit here and be like, okay, let me rely on the relationships that I've made, and I feel like that saved me a lot. I was barely up for elimination. A couple of the rounds were because of luck, but I believe that most of the rounds were because people didn't want to put me up for elimination. I was really scared when Mike got back in, and he said that he chose to take out Cameron versus or swap out with Cameron instead of me. And I feel like it was because I talked to Mike too that he didn't want to take me out. Other rounds that people had to pick people on their other teams, I had it was literally me, Cameron, and Andy. And so I had a very strong chance of being in. And none of the times that one of the green people had to be picked, I got picked. And I believe it's because I talked to everyone here. I think I made a really good move against Tweety at the final six. Our room had to vote. We were going to vote for Ivan. And in my head, I didn't want to vote for Ivan. I wanted to get Tweety out because I knew Tweety was working with Anthony, and Anthony is very, very smart, and I knew he was working with other people. And so I figured I would like to get them out. I figured people were coming after me, and I was scared, but I did have a Doom Star, and so I had that in the back of my hand. And then later on, I found another one. And so I felt like I was sitting here thinking, like, I need to make sure to play these correctly. And it turns out I didn't have to play them because they didn't get the chance to vote me out. When they did, it was a tie, and look at that. My relationship saved me in the wheel. Unfortunately, ended up getting you, Melissa. Obviously, I know Melissa from outside of this game. She's played one of my games before, and so to find out that she might have been one of the people who vote for me hurt me a little bit. But I was like, ah, it's fine. It's a game. I just feel like I came into the jury portion with the least amount of people. And I feel like me being able to get here, Anthony literally said with the final four that if I didn't win, he was going to gun for me. And I feel like that just speaks to how great I've been.
Okay, awesome. And just to clarify, I did not vote for you. It was Tweety, Mike, and Ivan on my list. I don't know where that got confused, but I put
Perfect.
the same. Thank you for
It's okay.
answering.
I had you on my list, and I also lied about having you because I didn't want to get you out either. So
Period. Thank you.
All right. Tweety.
Okay, hello. Congratulations, all three of you. Y'all are doing great. Lots of it. Like I am also coming into this very undecided, so lots of good food for thought. My question is going to be for Anthony. Anthony, you and I like ended up work. I did work with you more than the other two, mainly because you were on purple. That said, I am curious, and purple did have majority going late into the game. So I'm curious how you utilized that to your benefit or didn't. I will also admit I did have a perception that you and Kim were something of a duo, and Kim was the more aggressive player out of the two of you, and likely and seemingly the decision maker. And I want to know whether that was accurate.
Cool. Let me try to take that piece by piece. So the first thing I would say is having like tribal lines, color wars, whatever you want to call it. Like I knew we did have an advantage as purple if we stuck together and stuck strong. I immediately feel like the people I gravitated in this game with the most just happened to be on the purple team. So I was very excited to be paired with all of you. I find it easier to work with the girlies. So a lot of girlies on purple. And yeah, I wanted to keep the numbers as much as we could. And I think it was like, I think I was like pushing a lot with purple of like, let's stay purple strong. Whereas in other groups, when I talked to green or orange, I would kind of throw out like, I don't want to play like the color wars game. So really like middling my perception of like someone who is really trustworthy, but someone who's also open and adaptable, to play and not just stick with the alliance. And I think when we got to that safety chain round is where I kind of showed my colors breaking away from purple. So when you gave me When you gave me safety, I ended up giving it to Kim, and I told Kim save Ivan, and kind of had the idea that then Ivan would give it to, or sorry, to save Ivan and Melissa because we were the four. So Melissa got it, then saved Ivan, and I'm sorry, I'm forgetting names now. That removed Tina from the game, and kind of pushed her outside of like having safety from being in purple. I do think I was utilizing the perception that Kim was a stronger player than me, which is why I didn't want to go to the end with her. I think our games were very intertwined. But I also do think I pulled Kim in a lot of different places in the game, specifically like right there in the safety chain. I was the one to save Kim. During the pairs, I came right in and said, "Hey, Kim, you and me, like, we're good. We're gonna be a pair." And I'm saying that in front of everyone, so that if I go back on my word, people will know. So I do think I called shots a lot. I think, unfortunately, you were the victim of like one of the shots I took. So in the round where we weren't able to talk as a group, I was with Kim and Ivan, and I was really worried, that if Mike went home, he was going to drag me just because we weren't the closest in the game. Um, and I figured it was going to go to a tie, so it made more sense to vote for Mike, knowing the other group was probably going to vote for Ivan. So that way, if it did tie and you went home, you wouldn't drag me. And when you were dragging, you didn't say my name as a candidate. And I also knew presenting like the vote at Mike would make it seem like I was like still loyal to you. So I think I played that round really smart, and at the end, like it was my decision to go for Mike. And I think me and Ivan stayed true to Mike. I think Kim flipped and voted either you or who else was in that round? The other person in the round. Sorry, it's been a really fast day. And then on the revote, me and Ivan had the contingency plan to flip our votes to you to make sure you were the one to go home.
I figured that makes sense. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's go over to Mike.
Hello, everyone. Um, all right. So Ivan hasn't talked very much. I gotta be honest, I really despise Friend Viber. So Ivan, just curious, who else did you know coming into this game?
I knew just Anthony.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah.
All right, sorry, my mute button wouldn't come off there. Kim.
Hello, congratulations to everybody. My question is for Anthony. So now that I am here, and you had told me that you didn't think you could beat me in the end, and you just heard Ivan and his speech, do you now think that you are stacked up to be able to beat somebody like an Ivan who came in here with, that was clearly working with Daniel, clearly working with Melissa, and clearly working with all the points that I had given you, as to why Ivan should have been the vote last round than me? So if you could just let me know why you think that you made the right decision by keeping Ivan, because to me, it doesn't really seem like that was maybe the best move, but no hard feelings.
Yeah, maybe I'm completely wrong. In my personal opinion, like I don't believe Ivan played a better game than me. And I think we also played very different games, so I can just like talk on different points. Whereas I think with you, it would have been very muddled, and people would have given you the credit over me. I think with most of our talking points. So I think it was important for me to be the only purple left standing, and yeah, just have some different counterpoints. I hate to say, like, I actually don't regret my decision to eliminate you, as hard as that sounds. Like, it's like I like you a lot as a person. And again, if I was on the jury, I was voting for you. I really enjoyed working with you. But I do think you were the biggest threat to win. Apparently, Daniel has a ton of friends. So again, I wanted Daniel out, but Daniel and I tied in that last game. And I also think if we're talking about Friend Viver, it's just like curious to me that Daniel thinks he went into the merge with, or the jury with the least amount of people when he named five different people he knew before this game, and the only person I can name is Ivan. He also has two Doom Stars or whatever, so he's gonna get two extra votes, which I think is kind of ridiculous if you add to that. And I think all of the jury should vote in a different direction, if I'm being honest.
Wonderful. Thank you, Kim. All right. Now you guys are going to be able to address the jury. The order has been randomly decided, and Ivan, you are first.
Hi. Okay, I think I'm just going to talk about my game. I definitely did not play an honest game, which is the truth. I had to, when the rooms were separated into 3v3 at the final six, I was in a room with Anthony and Kim, and I knew it makes sense for the other group to vote for me because I'm the only one eligible out of the three of us. I voted for Kim the last round. So I had to tell a story to Kim that I didn't vote for her, that somebody else did. Like I had to make sure she believes I didn't vote for her. Whether she believes that or not, I don't know, but that's one of the reasons she probably voted for Tweety and not me. I don't know how the votes shaped up to be, but it was a 2-2-2-2 vote. I was actively playing from the beginning of the game. I found myself connected more to the green team during the pre-jury phase of the game, which is why I played my Doomstar pre-jury for what's his name? I forgot his name. I'm so bad with names. I'm so sorry. I was the one that played my Doomstar on him to keep him in the game because myself, him, and Andy at that time, we kind of already locked in on a group. So when everyone was saying his name, a Doomstar is not that important to me. The vote it can give, the vote it can provide to me in the future was more important. That did not work out according to plan, but that was just to answer Tina's question that I was actively playing. I was just not sitting around going to rooms and everything. I was actively leaving rooms as soon as I got the information I needed. I didn't need to be there for too long. I was actively playing from beginning to the end of the game. I talked my way out of a lot of stuff. I was playing very strategically. Every vote I casted was a vote that benefited me. I switched my votes during some of the ties because of I didn't really have much of a preference. Like whenever I had a preference, I had to stick to my guns on who to vote for. I played a social game. I trusted on my alliance and I trusted in numbers because that was the only thing I realized could not fail me.
Thank you, Ivan. Daniel.
Well, hello. I first want to say about the friend Viber thing. Again, sitting in this Zoom call right now, I do know Melissa, but I genuinely don't even know if she's gonna vote for me. Me and Tina have played traders together before. Um, I was scared to play with Tina. Tina, you're great. And don't I don't know if Tina's gonna vote for me. I feel like we in our past game, like she got out early and we were kind of on opposite sides. So if you wanna say that I know everybody, I literally only really know Melissa. So I don't think that, that has that's gonna make a judgment call for this, I guess. Again, I'm just gonna go back to my social game. I feel like I've talked to everybody, and I feel like that really kept me from being on the block. Most of the times when people pick, or every time that people got to pick someone to either drag out of the game or to put up for elimination, I was never picked. Again, I was never picked because I feel like I talked to everybody and I feel like I made people laugh. I was vocal. When we were sitting in the Zoom call, I always got on the call. I always unmuted and I talked to people because I just am a social person and I feel like my social game is what gets me to what got me to the end of this game. I did make the strategic decision about voting for Tweety, and again, that was because I knew that he was working with Anthony and they had a little group going. And that's pretty much what I have to say. Yeah, I think I played a better game than both Anthony and Ivan.
Thank you, Daniel. And Anthony.
Hi everyone. So I came into this game wanting to use honesty and trust, and candor and confidence. I didn't really want to like pussyfoot around, but also needed to keep myself adaptable and seem open to working with everyone, which I think I had a pretty solid relationship with most people in the game. Even people I wasn't truly working with, I think I had a good enough relationship to be like, I won't come for you if you won't come for me. And when I ultimately did make strong decisions, I think I did it honestly to myself and with my best interest in mind, which I think is the way to play this game. Even from the start of the game, that first twist with like the birthdays, I had said in Purple Group, like, I think it's going to be about our birthdays and which day we're born on. And no one really listened to me. But Tina was like, let's go with Friday. And I knew I was born on a Sunday and would be fine. So I let that happen. I wasn't eligible for elimination up until Chase nominated me pretty late into the game. And when that happened, I'm pretty sure it was final 11 and I only received one vote. I think that one vote I got was the only vote I got this entire game. And then when the tie was broken, it had flipped over. So I do think I positioned myself well to be pretty unassuming, even though I was calling shots. I was really working with a wide array of people, and I was making game decisions. I was the first one picked on the safety chain. When the ch wheel chose me safe, I led the vote against Chase when there were only four voters. That was like a pretty last minute call. And me, Daniel, Kim, and I think maybe Ivan was the fourth voter. Were in a room at the last. It was actually just me, Daniel, and Kim, and we were toggling a bit between Mike and Chase. And I think I pulled the trigger on Chase. Um, Melissa, Kim, and Ivan were my final four, but I left myself open. I think you see that in my relationship with Tweety. And I didn't vote for Melissa, even though she was on my shopping list. I didn't vote for Kim, even though she was on my shopping list. I did try to vote for Daniel, and I kept loyalty to Kim and Melissa when I could have flipped, and didn't flip to getting Kim out and went to the wheel and took that risk, hoping it would work out for me, because I knew Kim was very important to my game. And then, yeah, I talked a little bit about my moves behind Tweety's elimination. The final comp, I won again. If Daniel didn't tie with me, I would have tried to get Daniel out, especially now knowing he has two Doom Stars. But I do think I made the best decisions possible with the options I had. I'm a little tired, so I hope I'm making sense. Just some personal news. I got engaged last night, which is really, really exciting. And I've been kind of using my ring as really good luck in this game whenever there's been a wheel or a vote. And this has just been a really great blast of a past 24 hours. I really enjoyed playing this game, whether I win or lose. And I do hope I made a good enough case for you to vote for me. But yeah, great game, everyone.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Jury members, please message me the name of the person that you would like to see win tonight's game. You're sending me the name of the person that you would like to see win. All right. Some quick notes before I reveal the winner. Everybody, please come up on camera. I hope everyone had fun today. It was a great game. I know the people behind the scenes have all said, wow, what a great cast of people. Some people were rooting for people that made it to the jury, and we're hoping they made it to the end, but definitely you guys all played a fantastic game. I do hope that you tell your friends you had fun and any of them would like to ever come and play. And of course, any of you ever want to play again. Sorry again for any of the technical issues. And hopefully, it happens. It's whatever. Hopefully, everybody had fun. My next game is going to be on Saturday, August 9th at 8. p.m. and there will be the application in the YouTube videos, which I'll send to you guys as well, just so this group knows. There is also, for everybody that plays, there's a Facebook group page, which I'll put you into just so you can meet the other people that have played, and if you ever want to play again and mingle and all of that fun, and maybe we'll have a best of the best or a champions game sometime. Um, all right. Thanks again. And the winner I can reveal, and I reveal that yes, if anybody had any Doom stars, they are added to the total. So thank you again. And here we go. The winner of tonight's Zoom Room of Doom game and the 50 Canadian dollars with 4 votes to win is Anthony. Congratulations, Anthony. A great game played. And I hope everyone had fun. Feel free to unmute, congratulate them. Have a
Thank you,
great
everyone. Phil, you did an amazing job hosting. This was so fun.
Congratulations,
Thank you.
Anthony.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Anthony, and on